For the 360 tip this month, I'm going to talk about the difference between the hands to feet variations. So this is a posture that you might know very well as hands to feet, which looks like this, where your upper body is flat against your legs. You might even be used to practicing this with your hands underneath your heels. This is a very different posture than another posture that's also called hands to feet, where your forehead touches your knees and your spine rounds. Looks like this. Historically speaking, that second version of hands to feet with the forehead touching the knees and the rounded spine was how the posture was practiced up until about the 70s. And Bikram was one who changed this posture and made it a flat spine with the upper body against the legs and the face against the shins. Dr. Mukherjee says, "Now bend forward until your palms touch the ground. If this is not possible, grasp both ankles with the hands and try to bring your nose between your legs." There are two very different things that does for the body. So if we take the second version, the more historical version, of the hands on the floor in front of the feet and the forehead on the knees with a rounded spine, what we get is a full stretch of the back side of the body. That's because the posterior line of the body connects from the bottoms of the feet all the way up the legs, up the back, on the neck, the top of the head, and it connects to the space between the eyebrows. That's the posterior line of connective tissue in the body. So when we close that line, when we stretch every element of that line of connective tissue, it stretches the whole back side of the body. So that is one version of hands to feet. When we do hands to feet with the flat back and the upper body flat against the thighs like this, that is a more intense stretch for the hamstrings on the backs of the legs, but not as much of a stretch for the back and the upper part of the body. So more intense for the lower body, less intense for the upper body. That is because you are actually slightly bending your spine back, keeping it straight, but the action is in a back direction, in order to tilt the pelvis forward enough so that your upper body can come close to your legs. So again, to explain that, your pelvis tilts forward, which lengthens your hamstrings, but your back actually shortens a little bit, right? And the result is very long hamstrings, less stretch for the back. You can think of these as two different postures. That's how we think it's helpful to think about them. They do different things. They are both hands to feet pose.